Hi guys. So just to recap a little bit, I am doing my field placement with the transition program right now. I'm doing a lot of work with those kids through the Groton public school system. So a lot of the times with those kids, we're out in the community and we're not just stuck to a classroom. So I decided to do my video this week on confidentiality because I actually had kind of an interesting experience with it on Monday, and it made me really start thinking about it. So, in the past, with like my own experiences, I feel like confidentiality has been pretty cut and dry. Like when I, the job I just left, I would always go over. Oops, sorry, it looks like my computer froze there for a second. So anyway, so I apologize. So in my last position that I held, we would go over like a whole ton of paperwork with clients when we first started with them, and we were doing our work in home. So we went to their houses, we're in our intake visit, and one of our paperwork has all of our I'm trying to think of the actual name of it. I think it was like, I don't remember, but it was all the like rules, regulations, and whatnot, and a whole section of it was on confidentiality. So especially when I was working with younger kids, I would always kind of summarize it as, so basically, when we're in your house, what's said here stays here. And it was kind of easy because the same thing applied. Like if we went to the office or even other positions that I've held, when you're in sort of a contained space, whether it be the office or somebody's home or whatever, it's easy because you don't have people just coming and going or strangers. And actually, even on that note, when I was doing in-home work through ITAP, we actually had them sign a piece of paper that if somebody other than the immediate family members or the people who lived in the home were going to be present, they had to sign another piece of paperwork for confidentiality purposes, saying that they either allowed this person to be there and they're acknowledging that now they're going to be privy to some of this information that they may not want everybody to know about, and then we can go over the confidentiality purposes with this new individual also. But so even in that sense, it was pretty easy to sort of control who's going to be present and who's not. So now, in the placement that I'm in currently, we do, again, a lot of our work in the community. So on Monday, we had a group of kids, and we went to the local bowling alley because they do like some cleaning and whatnot, and they have to go in, sort of introduce themselves, talk to their boss for the day, and find out what their duties are and whatnot. So while I was hanging out with the paraprofessionals that were there, who were kind of running this program, they were talking and they were kind of joking around about how, man, wouldn't it be nice if we could bring our kids while we're doing this? And then they really started talking about it like it was something that they actually might consider doing because they're kind of in charge for right now, and there's nobody, right there sort of overlooking and babysitting them. So kind of, I joke about it where I kind of play like I'm just the dumb intern, you know what I mean? So I throw out these ideas. So I kind of put it out there of, so, well, what happens when you bring your 10-year-old or your 12-year-old and they happen to recognize that they know some of these people, or they see somebody else and it's, oh, well, why are you here with those kids? I was like, that's the whole reason, because that's confidentiality. So it's bad enough that we're in the community where people hear us, with names and we have our badges on and all of that. But the piece that we can control is the people that we're bringing into the environment. And it was kind of cool because I could see sort of the light bulb go on for the para of why it really isn't okay to bring, our family members along with us, regardless of their age, because of the fact that now they're privy to information of, okay, these are these students, maybe we're not talking about their specific diagnoses and why they're there, but they're here for a reason, and it's not okay to share that information. So that was kind of cool to see. And so then on the same note, we, I've talked to these paras in particular before, and when we're in the school system and we're actually in the school setting, they fully understand, like, when they have a piece of paper that has the student's name written on it, that has any personal information or anything really, if it has the student's name on it, that when they're done with it, it has to go in the shredder box or actually in the shredder. But so when we were now at the bowling alley, we have these little like slips of paper, like little card things, that we have each kid's name, and they sort of rotate through them, but of what their responsibilities will be for that day while we're at that place. So they had them, and they were on a little table, and they're packing up, saying, "Okay, guys, come on, it's ready to go. Let's get out of here." And I pointed back, and I'm like, "Hey, guys, we left those paper over there with the kids' names on them and whatnot." And they're like, "Oh, that's no big deal." And I'm like, "But it is, because it has their name on it. And so now if somebody else comes, not knowing, and sees their names and sees that it's part of this program, they're going to know. And that's, again, confidentiality, and that's not okay." So the light bulb kind of went off, and it was kind of cool to see. So anyway, I guess I'm over my time now, so I'm going to sign off. And I look forward to hearing from all of you.